couple minutes early. I'm just checking to make sure that we're live. So if you're here, welcome. It's taking me a bit to get used to this new setup. This is my second one that I'm doing. And I need to double check. But if you're here, welcome. Don't give up on me. I guess you could say something in the comments, but I can't find yet the live function. And we go here. Not seeing it yet. Wondering if I'm live or not. See if I can call in and assist here. Where is it streaming? It says it's streaming. I hope it is. Calling in my tech help here. I'm Laura, by the way. And this is my second YouTube live that I've done. So I think I'm live. I can't find my connection to double check that, but I am doing that right now because I don't have the comments built in yet like I used to. Is everyone enjoying their Memorial Day? I know it's a solemn day for some. Oh, it does say I'm live, so hooray! And there we go. Sorry for the confusion. I do not want to listen to that while we're live. Let me pull it up down here. My iPad is just a little more fiddly than the rest of this. So there we go. I can see that we're live now. Although I don't see a picture. Hold on. Sorry for the inconvenience. For those watching later, you want to skip ahead to the demo on this on replay. I honestly think I may go back to a different setup that I used to have because I think that was easier. But I still want to do them on YouTube. So here we go. And there we are. Oh, good. So sorry. Now I can see comments if you're saying as well. So that's always good to know. But yes, my name is Laura Mester of Laura Stamping Legacy Studio. And this is Makers Monday number 79. Welcome in if this is your first time coming here. I have been a demonstrator for 6 years now in the northern Kentucky area, part of the greater Cincinnati metro region, which is a tri-state region. So just a wonderful place that I love living, and there's a great crafting community here. But we're getting together today on this Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for taking a little time out to watch. If you're here, please comment, subscribe, give me a like so that I know you're there. And if this is a weekend of remembrance for you, that's definitely what this is for. I know it's kind of morphed into a celebration weekend for things like graduation and all that, but you would hope that people have the time during the celebrations to step aside and honor those that have fought for our nation and perished. So happy Memorial Day to everyone. But thank you for taking time to join with us. So, and I'm going to demonstrate a card challenge today. I've been doing card challenges for a while now, about once a month, and I will show a design for a card, and people will create that card based on my design, and then share a photo in my Facebook group, or you could share it in the comments here, and then that'll run for a couple weeks, and then I'll pull a winner from all those that have completed that. So it's a lot of fun, and we learn new techniques and new card making designs. So that's what we're here for tonight. Always when we gather, I like to share what's new and going on with the company. And May is the month that we introduce the new annual catalog every year. So I do have a box of some new product over here. I am going to do the card demonstration first, but then I'll show some of the new product things that I received because it's always fun to see that. But like I said, if you're here, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. But I'm going to continue so that we can have this in a timely fashion. Also, I want to let you know that I've just invested again in the Stampin' Up! Forward-facing website store page for the demonstrators. So I have a new link that's much easier to shop with me and a QR code. So I posted those in my Facebook group of the same name, Laura Stamping Legacy Studio. So you can find that there, and I'll put it in the comments later in this video. Also, right now is the month of May, and I have this down here, but there's a starter kit special running right now. And the starter kit special is running just for the month till the 31st, so it's almost done. So if you would like to sign on as a demonstrator with me and get a starter kit, right now you get $66 more in product free with your $99 starter kit purchase. So that's more than double what they normally give you. So that's a great deal right now. It comes with free shipping, all your business supplies, and a free paper pumpkin kit as well. If this is at all of interest to you, just reach out to me and I can help you through that. Or I can post a join link in my comments too. So that's just something going on right now. But we're going to talk about the cards that I'm going to make. And we've talked about already the challenge cards. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch this over so that we can look down here. And I'm going to get rid of the extra little things. I talked about the new catalog. I talked about the starter kit. So those can go aside. We also had the new rewards program, which was introduced in April, and that's still in full effect, in case you hadn't heard about that yet. So if anybody's out there, please go ahead and I show somebody watching, so thank you so much if you're watching. This is the card design that we are going to be working with tonight. I think when I posted the original photo for this, I posted the toadstool card. So that's the one that you would have seen for the event on Facebook for this live. So, and I did other samples as well. So this toadstool bundle is available right now. And this simple design is really kind of makes a very nice card. I cased this from Karen Titus. And if any of you that watch videos have watched any of hers, she's a very large demonstrator who has been doing this for quite some time, and she has quite a large following. That's what I mean by large. She's not large in stature, she's just large in her personality and her following. So it's actually her birthday today. I was watching her a little bit to relax myself before we went live here, and I saw that this was her birthday week, and she's live right now too, and she's showing cards. So this design was cased from her. So how about that, a connection to her on her birthday. So this bundle is still available. This is called the Toadstool Bundle, just a cute, fun bundle. This paper is no longer available. The paper was part of Celebration, so that's unfortunately gone. But this, I just loved pulling together that. I'm kind of a toadstool nut. So, but this is one example, and I made a couple other examples out of the Sunrise Sailing bundle, which is available right now. It's a brand new online exclusive. It is unfortunately, sadly, out of stock at the moment, but we have a great new feature since they've been updating and upgrading the website. Now, if there's an item and it shows out of stock when you're looking at it, there's a box where you can put in your email, and they will send you a notification when that becomes available back in stock. So that's and this is such a wonderful, wonderful set. I guess I should be showing these to you as we're talking. This was the Toadstool stamp set, if I can get that without the glare on it. And it comes in a bundle with the punch, which is right here. And the punch punches out two different toadstool tops and their stem. You'll notice when I made this sample, I stamped like ink on like paper. So it was, is this Poppy Parade? No, this is Melon Mambo. So I did Melon Mambo over top of Melon Mambo paper. So that's why it's a two-tone Melon Mambo. And then this is Fresh Freesia. So I did Fresh Freesia on Fresh Freesia paper. So it really had a neat look to it. So anyway, that is that bundle, which is still available and was a carryover. And then as far as I did have some embossing on there, if you noticed. And this was the embossing folder, and I'll show you a different one in a minute. But I used the Birchwood 3D embossing folder for the background on this white, which is kind of hard to see in white. But it's one of those oversized folders. And that has been an item that was carried over into the new year as well. So I used that on both of these two cards. So put this aside for a second. So that has the same background. And this lovely bundle called Sunrise Sailing. So there's all the stamps, just a beautiful, beautiful stamp set. It has congratulations, happy retirement, best wishes, you deserve the best, you're destined for great things, and of course, ahoy. And it came not only with dies. Now you buy the stamp set. If you buy the bundle, you get a package with the dies, and I always put mine inside the stamp set. You get the stamp set, and then it also came with a folder. And this is a folder with a die that fits in to cut out this boat. Not that I used it on this example, but that's something to know if you're going for the bundle, which is out of stock. But like I said, you can put in your email and be notified when that comes in. I don't see anyone commenting. I wish I could get this chat to work. Oh, yes, I do. There you are. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Terry. Hey, someone's there. I've been struggling back and forth with this YouTube Live OBS all day, so I may do something different. I don't need to take this one out, but this is the one I used for this card, and this is another example I just did. And this is that retired paper that I love so much that looks like the sea. It had blues and whites all marled together, and I thought that would work perfect with this. And I married it with and this is actually retired Pacific Point, which is a paper that I loved. I think I've used up almost the last of it making a few of these cards. And I did this new Soft Waves embossing folder that is just out. And it really, really is a beautiful, this would have been beautiful for all these cards. It would have been great for the to match this paper on the toadstools, because that had the design. So whether it's water or the air, the wind, or if it's grass growing, you could use this. I even used this for flames. Hold on, let me grab this card. My husband doesn't watch these, right? I was making a Father's Day card the other day, and if you look on here, I took this and turned it straight up and down, and it looked like the flames that were in this retired paper we had for Father's Day a couple of years ago. So very versatile and fun embossing folder. So let's put that aside so we can get to showing you the card and how to create it. Put that one away. And these two aside. We could probably put these over here. I really like the way this one came out. So first thing you always want to know when we're making a design is what are the dimensions. So I have those right here. So your card base, let me get your pieces out too. I've got pieces over here. Okay, here we go. Your card base is 5.5 by 8.5. So I've got all the pieces. I'm just going to assemble for you. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Let's put this. I'm going to hold this up. So 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're going to have. I had 2 panels on most of my cards. The toadstool only had 1. And when the toadstool only had 1, it was the size of what's listed as the top layer here. So you can design your card when you make it. As long as you follow the basic layout, you can change things up. I'll go back and show you later, but on my samples, on the toadstool one, I had 1 layer of matting underneath everything. On the ones with the sailboats, I had 2 layers. So if you have the 1 layer, make it 5 by 3 3/4. If you want 2 layers, put the 5 and 3 3/4, and then the 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And that'll create the 2 layers that we had in our samples. Then the next thing you're going to need is a shape. I used a circle because I liked how it worked out. If you have an oval, you have something else that's a shape, maybe you have a rectangle that might work. But I really like the way the circle works, where the creating the scene you want to make. I chose a circle that was 3 inches, and I did it with my dies. So perhaps you have a punch that's like 2.5. That could work as well, but you can change up what you do with that. And then you're going to need a sentiment tag. And if you noticed on my 2 examples, I'll hold these 2 up closer so you can see them better. The happy birthday one, that's with the toadstools, like I said, it has that 1 layer, the white layer, so that's when we talked about having 2, whereas the sailboat had 2 different layers, so you had 2 different sizes. Don't worry about those measurements. I will put them in the comments as well. When it comes to your sentiment tag, you can change up how you do your sentiment tag. If you just had this one and had it white, maybe you want to just put your sentiment right on the paper and put some little embellishments to one side. You can change that up. You can have it be shorter like I did on this one, which I really like this. If I was going to make more cards, I think I would go with this design over the one straight across. But depending on your sentiment, you may need something that long. So when I was doing this one, the designer series paper piece underneath was 3/4, and then it was by 3 3/4 across. It was 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then my sentiment white was 1/2 by 3 3/4. I'll put those dimensions and measurements in the comments. So let's go ahead and put together this toadstool card. How is everyone doing today? What have you been up to? I had a slow day getting ready for this. Uh-oh. And I'm dropping things, so hold tight. Let me get all the pieces, and we'll talk through them one more time. So these are all my bits. And have I lost my sentiment? Hold on. It did go flying on the floor somewhere. Oh, here it is. I've got it. Everything together and at one place, and you don't know where it is, right? You can use glue. You can use runner, whatever works best in your situation. I would suggest you put your circle on before you apply your base, because you're going to need to trim the edge of that circle. So kind of line up where you want it to go. Trying to find out which way is debossed and embossed here. And then just go ahead and get something on there. I'll put a little glue on this. A little of our quick Tombow there. Make sure that hangs off. And if I slide it this way a little bit, the glue will go on everything. See where you want that positioned. You can grab your snips and turn it over. And go ahead and snip off the extra there. Can you see me? Here I am. Okay. Not bad for being on camera. Lining things up is sometimes... I forgot to mention, this piece over here is your inside liner. That's the same measurement as your top layer here. That was it 5 by 3? Yeah, 5 by 3 3/4. So this will get attached to the front of your card. I'm just going to use some glue real quick since this one's working really good. That's probably more than I need, but sometimes when you have embossing, you have to allow for the up and down of it. Oh, you both went to the parade this morning. Oh, that's a wonderful parade. I know Tanya and your family have been going for years to that one. when I was a Girl Scout years ago, um, we were always in the Memorial Day Parade. My mom was a Girl Scout leader. She was also in the American Legion Women's Auxiliary, and my dad was in that as well, in the American Legion. So they marched for that, and we marched for the Girl Scouts. And there's pictures of us. I have to try to find one and post it, doing the parade. And then we'd all run up to camp because it would be nice and warm, but not this year. It's cold here, there, everywhere, or chilly. Chilly here, cold there. If you notice, when I was putting out, sorry, I was off the camera. I was putting just a little bit of glue on the edges of this. Well, I guess it doesn't matter on this. It matters on that. Get a little more glue on here, because I'm going to need to tuck my toadstools behind my sentiment. So you'll have to decide what you want to do DSP wise on here, color wise, and then what your elements are that you're highlighting. So I've got that lined up. And then I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to leave no glue underneath the part where I tuck those. So just a little. That's more than enough to hold it. Then just line it up and get it on there. I already put these little guys together. These are so much fun, these toadstools. If you can see them, let me hold those up here. Petal pink is the color of the stems. I still want to do, oh goodness gracious, let me get over here. Petal pink is the color of the stems. A little too close. I still want to do a naturalized version of these with natural colors, because people that know me know I'm more of a natural color person, but these just, I don't care what they are, they're fun. So what color you end up with. So I'll do this later so as not to take a long time, but I put glue dots on here because I just thought it would be quicker and easier. These are the glue dots that come like in the paper pumpkin. So I will adhere those right here later, rather than take the time to pick them all off now. Well, I should do that and show you. This is what I use the Take Your Pick tool for. One of the things. It just helps. So you can turn these over and start picking at it. There it goes. And then you can grab them off easier because you've got them started. Theoretically. I think a lot of people went to the ball games the last couple days to see. That's kind of a tradition for some people. And I know the Reds were out of town today. They did manage to eke out, I hope, spoiler alert, eke out a win if you haven't watched it yet. It was one of those heart attack Reds moments again, because our closer nearly tossed it away. But we managed to pull out. If any of you, we played the Kansas City Royals, so I don't know if anyone follows baseball and remembers that India went to Kansas City, so we got to see him play today. He was a player that many people liked here. So the boys of summer, right? So then just figure out how I want my little things to be and attach them down. And that's the card. And I do have some embellishments, which I'll do these later. I'll move it along since it took so long. These are going to go on here, just like I did with that one. I do use my Take Your Pick tool for that, too. What don't we use our Take Your Pick tool for? I think I've used it for things other than stamping as well. And these are old retired embellishments, but they are Melon Mambo. But with a Take Your Pick tool, you can position them exactly where you want them. And let's put this on. And I will stamp this with the rest of a sentiment later. When I figure out who needs a card that says you are amazing. So there we go. So there's your inside and there's your front. So now we've got two of those. So this is the challenge card. So if you want to participate, just create one as well and share a photo, either in the comments here or in our Facebook group. Go ahead over to Facebook and follow my page there and jump into the group, and you can share the photo. And you have to June 15th to finish it. And then on June 16th, I'll pull a winner from everyone who created, and they'll win a small prize. And everyone who does complete a challenge card gets a small mini product share from me of just a little bit of product, enough to make another card usually. So, what'd you think? Do you think that's worth trying? Oh, hi, Tanya. Welcome in. Did you see that Cindy and Terry went to the parade? So, what'd you think? Who's going to make one? We didn't talk about, before we move on to the product share, we didn't talk about the Summer Fair shirt I'm wearing. If you all noticed, I have the new Summer Fair shirt. And Summer Fair is a big arts gathering that I'm involved with, and I've been involved with it since 2008. I'm called a Summer Fair green shirt, although my shirt's not green today. But the shirt I wear during the fair when I volunteer is green. But it is this coming weekend, if you don't know. And can't tell you how many times I've heard that people in Cincinnati have never been to Summer Fair. So you need to get your butt over there. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. It supports the arts. Everything we bring in from either the artists paying for the booths or ticket sales goes right back to the arts, because we're a nonprofit. But I thought we'd have a little contest just for fun. If anyone wants to guess, because I got one ahead of time because I helped with the t-shirt folding. So if anyone wants to take a guess at how many t-shirts were made this year for sale, that are going to be for sale, take a guess at how many shirts were created by Summer Fair for this year's fair. Comes in 3 colors. And I think there's a tote bag as well. But we're not counting the tote bags, just how many shirts do you think we made? And there's 3 styles even. There's a ladies style, a regular unisex style with a crew neck, and one that's a V. So I thought it would be fun to have a little contest. Oh, good. I'm glad you'll make one. So let's go ahead now. Let me move these out of the way. Let's take a look at the product. Sorry, I'm a little disjointed. I've been kind of a little off the last few days. Coming off of medicine, and it's leaving me with a little bit of brain fog. So I know I sometimes may seem like I have brain fog, but I really have brain fog right now. So let me go ahead and switch my look so I can see the product more. Some of these things were all these things in the catalog? I think all these were in the catalog. When we had pre-order, we couldn't order all the inks. And I know this isn't exciting to look at, but these are what our ink refills look like. I think they cost $5.50 each. I was going for the in colors. I guess I missed one. There's Timid Tiger, Secret Sea. Hold on, let me grab something to show you. If you haven't seen it, it's tied over here. So let's see if I can get it down without destroying it. Seems like a good idea at the time. I need some scissors for this. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Here's the colors. That's a little more appealing to look at. I forgot to buy Strawberry Slush, but I have my Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, which there's orange, yellow, Cloud Cover, which they've struggled with as a color, and we will not be getting the full-size ink pad in that, and Secret Sea. As a demonstrator, sometimes I'll buy ink pads, sometimes I won't. For these in colors, I was going to make Stampin' Spots, and Stampin' Spots are a small version of an ink pad. We sell Stampin' Spots at Stampin' Up! It's one of our stock items. So I didn't know if you knew that, but for people that may not know, you can always go and buy Stampin' Spots. And then you can buy the ink refill and create little stamp pads of the colors. So that's what I'm going to do with these 4. And I have to order that strawberry slush because I forgot. But that's the colors and those. I also got, speaking of colors, we now have two-tone paper. Let's see. Tanya said 20,000. Terry said 15,000. Cindy said 5,000. And Terry said 1,500. So far, Terry's guess was closest. So y'all, the rest of you are way off. This is cloud cover, and this is when we took over or bought out. Close to My Heart was going out of business, and we assumed that a lot of their products through a deal and their demonstrators. Some of their technology as well. So we have their two-tone papers now. This feels a little thicker than some other two-tones. It's kind of hard to see the two-tone. I was trying to do that. I don't know that my lighting. The two-tone on this one, I guess you can see it there. This is actually cloud cover. So I bought this cloud cover to go with the Kintsugi DSP that I bought. So, oops, I don't want to bend it up. But so there's a darker side and a lighter side. So I think this is $10 and you get 12 sheets. So I thought this was 12 by 12 sheets. It was a very good purchase. And I plan to use this in coordination with my Kintsugi paper. So let me get that out of here. Now that one had a different spot than the other, didn't it? I have stuff all over the floor. I'm going to hold this out because I want to show you the Kintsugi. I want to make sure I have this information to talk about Kintsugi. So, because the Kintsugi suite is in the catalog. Kind of hard to figure where everything is. There it is. So that's coming up in just a second. I guess I'll do the Kintsugi paper now since we were doing our 12 by 12. This is the, what is it called? Kintsugi Inspiration Suite. Did anyone look at this or think they wanted this? The Kintsugi Inspiration Suite. Let me get this out of the pack. I went ahead and got the paper. I still need to get the bundle. I haven't yet. I was kind of splitting up my purchases because I had bought the Sunrise Sailing. But what is Kintsugi? Kintsugi is the traditional Japanese technique of repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. The mended gold veins become a celebration of imperfect instead of hiding it. So I love that philosophy and that thought, and I think a lot of people kind of embrace that. So I wanted to make sure I at least got the paper. This paper matches up with dies, so all these pots can be cut out with dies, and then you can see the gold, it's shimmering there, but so all these can be cut out, and there's 2 sheets of that. Here's the back side of the Kintsugi paper. It's a really soft color. I should tell you what the colors are for that. The colors in the Kintsugi suite and the paper are Basic Beige, Cloud Cover, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Petal Pink, and Gold. I really do. I almost didn't get this, but I love the color palette of this one. And I love the philosophy of it, so I decided to go for it. Here's one kind of offset gold on probably the Misty Moonlight, I think. It's hard to tell. And here's a petal pink design. Very subtle, if you can see that. Here's the Kintsugi, like broken pottery just put together in a big sheet. That's kind of neat. One of the dies is actually, I know one of the stamps is craggly like this, and I think might be a die that does that too. There's another really fine, kind of a micro pattern. Small version of maybe like a wallpaper type. This one's very nice. Very pretty. Now this would also resist ink. So on one like this, although I think that's basic beige, but you could color it if you wished with a blending brush. I'm not sure I would. That's definitely a Misty Moonlight mix. And there's the blue Misty Moonlight. Very pretty. Not sure what I'll do with them yet. Oh, I see you're all guessing numbers. Let's see. I've got a 1230, a 2500. Oh, neat. A craft show in Japan. I can't imagine what all they might have. I love this paper right here. And I have it turned to the side that's not. But Cindy, I think you love sea and ocean and windy card making as well. This would be great for that. Of course, it's always hard when you know that there's gold on the backside. Here's the one that you could blend your brush because that's white. So you can make that match anything. But that's the Kintsugi 12x12 DSP that's available. If you have the catalog, you'll see it in there. If you'd like a catalog, let me know. I can get one to you if you're local. If not, we can get one through Stampin' Up. So then I'm on to a few little things that I got. Not many more, I promise, girls. Right here, I bought 2 packs. Actually, I have an extra one, too. So by mistake, I bought... We have ephemera packs now. They cost $7 or $8. I'm trying to remember which one. I think this is $7 for the birthday treats mix and match. This one, by mistake, I bought 2. So I have an extra one if anyone wants to just buy it off me. I'm not sure why I ended up with 2. But there's a lot in these. So just this one pack right here, I put it in there so I could easily access it in and out, has these masks or overlays, underlays, whatever you want to use these lattice for. Lots of quick and easy sentiments. Sometimes you're working on a card and you're trying to remember which stamp set has which sentiment. Look at the sentiments you already have here. You get 2 sheets of those, and then 2 sheets of these with the birthday ephemera images. You could even count out how many candles you need. So there's that. They've gotten into this now, and it's kind of mix and match, easy card making. And they have card bases and envelopes, and then some of these ephemera packs. So I've made use of them and really enjoyed using them. So there's that. Go ahead and just move that over here. I got a second one that was all sentiments. And this is just one pack, and it came with so many different ones that I had to split it up. I think this was $8, but there's 2 sheets of this one. And these are all individual little bitty, like die cut sentiment tags. Like I said, there's 2 of that one. They mimic each other. I don't want to pull them apart because they start to get delicate. And then on this side, there's more. These are more like done as if they'd been die cut. They're not straight edged. But happy birthday. You're awesome. Thanks, friend. All the best. The world needs more people like you. Really, really. And 4 sheets of sentiments in there. And this is the same over here. I think it's 2 or maybe 4 sheets as well. And these are just larger, like die cut words. Yeah, there's 2 of each. So really an amazing, amazing deal. If they're white, you could probably ink them to the color you wanted them. So I think these are great to have, even as someone who's an avid card maker who has lots of stamps. I like the lattice too. You could use it as a stencil, you're right, or you could just go ahead and use it. It would be nice as a stencil. All right, everyone's guessing. Tanya's closest now. Kind of an active game we're playing. Tanya guessed 1,250. I was surprised. I thought it would be a ton, but when you think about it, they want to make sure that it's a sellout, which I think this year will, because it's a really neat design. I'll talk about that again in just a second here. And then the last thing is the in-colored, or the Designer Series paper packs. So every year, of course, we have our cardstock, and we come out with a different 6x6 set of designer series paper packs that are in where the cardstick stock is in the catalog. So this is all kind of a neutrally background you're seeing here, which I love that. I like good neutrals. And I picked neutral colors, and these are the kind of just splotchy background that you can use for anything. It can be a night sky. It can be just a neat background. But this is an example, and you can see how that's going. That's all your neutral colors. And then there's also these stripes that they have. So I just thought these would be great for making any card. So I picked these up in the neutrals. The other side is more of a floral. So it's either true floral like this or the fronds of floral. So this is this year's, and they come in every sweet collection of colors that we have. There's neutrals, brights, subtles. What am I missing? Neutrals, brights, subtles, and regals. Plus we have the in colors as well. But I just picked up the neutrals for now. So just a real neat, I thought they were just the florals and I wasn't going to get them. But I do like the fronds, and like I said, I really like the backgrounds as well. So that's everything I had in my box that was new. It was just a small order. So let me just switch around right here. So we're back on me to say goodbye. I actually don't know the exact number of shirts. I've forgotten. We were talking about it. But I'm going to call it right here. And Cindy, you said 1250, right? Oh, no, Tanya said 1230. I'm looking back at your guesses on how many shirts Summer Fair made this year. So the person that was lowest is the winner because it's lower than that. I think, Tanya, you said 1230. There were actually, it's somewhere between 900 and 1,000. I was shocked. So I think these are going to go quick. This is I like the black one. There was a black, there was kind of, the ladies was kind of a pink that was kind of just a really light pink, not as light as Bubble Bath, but kind of a light pink. And then there was a coral color in the crew neck. So, and there were only 900 and something, I forget, like 970 or 940. I've reached out to the coordinator that was there for the t-shirt folding to double check the number. But yeah, I was surprised at how few there were. So, but like I said, the challenge card photos will be due June 15th or June 16th, or sorry, 15th. I'll pull the winner on June 16th. Oh, and of course, if anyone's watched till this end that doesn't know already about Christmas in July Kit Together, I do have that up for RSVPing on July 12th. I'm going to host a Christmas in July event focused on kits. So go ahead and say you're coming if you're coming. Hopefully we'll have carols playing and Christmas cookies and just, beat the heat if we ever get some. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I know this went long. It usually does when we show products. So I appreciate you being here. This is always a little bit stressful to get the technology right. But have a great evening and have a good week as well.